Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here, your favorite wrestling fan, every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time on the GSMC Sports Network to talk about something amazing, something that has impacted my life, definitely for the better, watching good old fashioned professional wrestling. So I hope you guys had a great weekend. It is Monday. Don't be too somber. Tonight we have Monday Night Raw, and also we had Monday Night Football tonight as well. And then on Tuesday, we're gonna have NXT, Wednesday, Dynamite, Thursday, Ring of Honor, Impact, and Friday, some SmackDown. Wrestling has always, got the average 9 to 5 worker kind of through the week a little bit. You know what I mean? Made it a little bit easier, come home and watch some good dramatic choreographed, amazing physiques and everything. Yeah, that professional wrestling entails. All the exciting drama and stuff. It's super cool. So we have a great show for you today lined up. Today we're gonna talk about obviously SmackDown. We're gonna talk about what happened on SmackDown. We're gonna talk about a little bit what's gonna happen on Raw, maybe a couple of speculations tonight. I'm also going to talk about my WWE Bad Blood review. I'm also going to dive into more of the attack you saw by Kevin Owens on Cody Rhodes once when WWE Bad Blood went off the air. In our fifth and final segment, we're going to talk about AJ Lee. AJ Lee, has been the talk lately of WWE, of social media because she posts workouts with her husband CM Punk. A lot of the fans, are hoping that she follows in her husband's footsteps to make another crack at it. She's still relatively young. You know what I mean? She can still automatically, if she goes on to SmackDown, Raw, NXT, she carries an immense amount of star power, that you could bring to the show, which is, good for marketing and stuff like that. So, yeah, let's dive into it. But before we do any of that, I want to remind you guys to go ahead and hit up that super chat. What if you got a burning question or a hot take in terms of professional wrestling or just something you've been dying to get off your chest here at the GSMC Sports Network? We are all ears 1,010%. We want to make sure your voice is heard, making sure you guys feel part of the mix. So don't be shy, drop those thoughts inside that chat. And if you really want to make sure your comment, question, or concern gets noticed, why not use that super chat? It's the $ below the chat box, and whatever you put down is guaranteed to be featured on the show. Plus, it's a great way for the GSMC Sports Network to kind of keep going. Helps us keep the lights on for a lot of the amazing podcasts we have here. We have sports, and we just keep bringing you guys amazing content. 24/7. Don't be afraid to hit up that super chat. We are absolutely super grateful for each and every one of you guys who joins us here daily on all the shows. Your support makes all the difference. So let's keep the conversation going. Send in those super chats, those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome. And together, we will make sure this podcast is bigger, better, and stronger than ever. And once again, at the super chat, obviously, if it's not your thing, you can still hit up the tips and donations link at the gsmcpodcast.net. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. Just remember the Superman punch, that like the subscribe button to the show. Follow the show, follow the network here at the GSMC Sports Network. We do love it all, peace, love, and positivity 1,010%. So, but of course, take criticism, feedback is a gift. Just feel part of the show. Absolutely. Drop whatever you guys want to talk about. Give me a shout out where you're listening from. Tell me how your weekend was. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. Let's keep it professional wrestling. Although, you know what? I want to mind. But, kind of running short on time. Always, it seems like I'm, always trying to fit in as much content as I possibly can. All right, so we're going to talk about some WWE Smackdown. WWE Smackdown AJ Styles returned. It was pretty cool. He got a lot of positive fan reinforcement, which I liked. He even said on the mic that he missed. He said, "Hey guys, I missed you. I missed you so much talking to the WWE universe. Um, maybe he was talking about rebuilding the legacy of AJ Styles. Perhaps we can see AJ coming back as like a babyface, especially with everything going down on, with the Bloodline, with The Rock coming back. Also, Carmelo Hayes is kind of doing his thing. The LA Knight, I feel like the LA Knight, he's over right now, but I don't necessarily see him as your traditional babyface. And I don't know if, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but like he just seems like I don't know, like he just minds his own thing. Like he doesn't care if the fans are into it. Like he'll say something like I kind of look at it and I'm like, that kind of sounded a little That's not a little heelish, maybe a little rude, maybe a little downright, condescending, but fans like him. So, you know, um, we saw Carmelo Hayes interrupt, of course. He is him, so obviously he had something to say. Came out with complete confidence, just absolutely patronizing the career that AJ Styles had. He says, he likes facing old timers, and it was kind of funny. Carmelo Hayes is going to be really big. He's going to be super big. For the WWE. So far, I feel like they're doing a pretty good job. He also said, he doesn't take advice from quitters. I kind of liked how he put that in there. Even AJ Styles was kind of like, all right, kid, like now you're kind of playing at the personal strings of the superstar or the character portrayed, actually attacking and stuff like that. So he's picking it up. Carmelo Hayes is picking it up. I remember when he first started, when he got drafted to WWE. I think he was 2 months in, and then he was talking to LA Knight, and like and he was like, "Oh, I want to face LA Knight," and like he was like, "Who are you talking about, LA Knight? I'm right here." Like he said in a promo, kind of botched it, kind of messed it up a little bit, but he's getting better. He's getting better. So obviously, 1,010%. I would love to see Carmelo Hayes be a champion one day. Then we saw LA Knight. LA Knight came out. AJ Styles clearly coming back to be in the United States Championship hunt. I think as of right now, his days as WWE champion is over right now. Everything, going on with Cody and, Kevin, and then like with the whole, what's Randy Orton's take on it. SmackDown's going to be huge. SmackDown's going to be an amazing show. I can't wait to, I can't wait for Friday. It's going to be awesome. So we had a match, offering up his United States Championship. The LA Knight straight up said, "Hey, honestly, why don't you guys battle it out, and the winner faces me for the title." So during the match, all in all, it was pretty damn good. AJ Styles getting injured, um, a lot. I thought it was not. I don't think it was kayfabe to a certain extent because he called off the match and he walked out. And the moment like he walked out, Carmelo Hayes was distracted, having the LA Knight come out and like giving Hayes the BFT like right away. Like it was kind of crazy. Like it was as soon as he walked off, which means I think it was 1,010% real. They said it's a legitimate injury. I guess he has something like sprain or something like that. But I think he's a couple weeks. I think he should be good in probably a couple of weeks. But AJ Styles getting up there in age, so should be interesting to find out how he approaches his career kind of moving forward. Because that's terrible luck. On your first day returning after a hiatus and then you get injured, that's no bueno. All right, next we have a women's dumpster match between Chelsea Green and Michin. It was overall it was pretty entertaining. I love the fact that Michin brings this, kind of hardcore sense to women's wrestling that a lot of people, when they think of women's wrestling, they don't really like take it to a higher end of how violent can these women possibly get. Every single match Michin's inside, and every single match entails something like a street fight or like, for example, like a dumpster match. I dig it. I like how it's kind of adding just like kind of like a different flavor. Especially heading toward the Netflix. And also SmackDown leaving Fox to go on to the USA Network, kind of drawing in new kinds of fans from all different types of demographics and stuff like that, especially in that 19 to 41 age no, in that age limit right there in that category. So we saw Michin pick up the victory. Thought it was pretty cool. We had a Bailey promo. She came out. She called out Nia Jax. She said that she never understood like the legacy. Told Nia Jax that she doesn't understand the legacy of the title. Obviously, she mentioned like for some strange reason, she mentioned like she was like, "All right, you're having one of the most dominant reigns in women's championship history." Like dominant how? Like, like going out there and, being big and bad, like, what I mean? That's dominant. But when you're mentioning like a dominant reign, I'm assuming like, a half a year tops, a year, and then like she's probably 2 or 3 months in as the champion. I don't think she's at that moment just yet. Like I mentioned before on this podcast, I hope she does have a long reign because I feel like that is, that's good for WWE, also for the career of Nia Jax. So, definitely would love to see that, Nia hold it to belt for much longer. It's that her having a stronghold over the title is going to cause the women's division, especially on SmackDown, to be a little kind of bottlenecked a little bit, like how everyone's trying to scrape and bite and claw for a chance. That's why the implementation of a WWE United States Women's or Intercontinental Championship, I feel like should be on the horizon sooner rather than later. I feel like overall just be better, just be better. All right, so obviously trying to drive a wedge between her and Tiffany Stratton. She used the first B word on SmackDown coming to the USA Network. I thought that was pretty funny. Tiffany Stratton absolutely doesn't seem like she's your average ordinary like sidekick for Nia Jax. She's not really playing the part that, to the point where she's like kissing, kissing butt or whatever. Essentially she's holding her own ground, which is cool. Nia Jax is saying stuff. She physically abuses her, and Tiffany Stratton's, kind of like, you know what? Like, I don't really need you. Like if you push me so much over the edge, your title reign could be over with the snap of my fingers. You know what I mean? So I liked how they're kind of keeping that open. Naomi faced Tiffany Stratton in a match where you saw Naomi pick up the victory. WWE Tag Team Championship ladder match, DIY, the Street Profits, and Tonga 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 Loa of the Bloodline. I saw a nice. I'd want to mention Jacob Fatu. He had a pretty awesome promo. I definitely left it out. It was pretty cool. I love the duration of it. I thought this SmackDown had a lot of good spots. Titles were, kind of held higher on the ladder match, which was I was kind of like, all right, because they had to like seem like they were going on like the first or the second step. Even when Tonga Loa was up there, he looked like he was like scared, crapless up there. Like, I would be too. You know what I mean? But they retained. I thought they were ultimately going to lose because I feel like it would have been better for the tag team division to kind of have that. Maybe the Street Profits wrestling for the tag team titles. Right now, the Bloodline being dominant, being a dominant faction, obviously you have to hold all the gold. Just holding the tag team titles, kind of leave it a little, kind of like on Raw with, Finn Balor and JD McDonough of the Judgment Day holding the tag team titles on their respective brand. I feel like it would be better for the tag team division to kind of, be a little bit more open than just have like, two dominant factions hold the title constantly. All right, we talked about some SmackDown, and now we're going to talk about some Monday Night Raw happening right now. The first 2 hour show of Monday Night Raw until it goes to Netflix, and even Triple H said, during the press conference of Bad Blood that he's not too sure how long the episodes of Raw are going to be on Netflix, which is kind of shocking. I thought they were going to go to 3 hours. That's what I've heard. But, we're going to talk about some WWE Monday Night Raw. So, grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice cold beverage, and we'll be right back.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
All right, and we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to talk about everything in terms of the world of professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside of the ring, backstage curtain drama, talk about superstar, inactive statuses, injury updates, also contract negotiations, extensions, and new signings from promotions like WWE to AEW to the GCW to the NWA to Stardom to New Japan Professional Wrestling, the Ring of Honor, TNA. If it makes major news headlines in the world of professional wrestling, we talk about it here on this show. So, make sure you tune in. All right, we just got done talking about some WWE Smackdown on Friday Night Smackdown. It was a pretty good episode overall. I give it like a 4.5 out of 5. Now we're going to talk about Raw. Raw, obviously, live right now. Got it recorded. Can't wait to watch it as soon as I get done with the podcast. So I've not checked a single shred of social media. No Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or anything like that. So, going to go in completely not knowing what I'm walking into, and I'm going to be talking about some stuff right now that I think might happen on Raw and kind of analyze some matches and stuff like that. It's for the first ever episode of Monday Night Raw, it's going to be a doozy. It's going to be a doozy. But before we get into some Raw talk, I'm going to remind you guys to hit up that super chat box right there. Whether if you got a burning question or hot take in terms of professional wrestling, or just something you've been dying to get off your chest here at the GSMC Sports Network, we are all ears 1,010%. So it's all about keeping the conversation lively, making sure your voice is part of the mix. So don't be shy. Drop your thoughts inside that chat. And if you really want to make sure your comment, question, or concern gets noticed on the show, use that super chat. It's the $ below the chat box. Whatever you put in, it's guaranteed to be featured on the show so we can talk about it, have a nice little conversation about it. And also, it's a great way, absolutely a great way to support the GSMC Sports Network. So all these amazing sports shows can keep awesome content coming at you guys 5 days a week. So make sure, don't be afraid to tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel. Super chats, definitely, we are absolutely super grateful for each and every one of you guys who joins us here daily on the show. Your support makes all the difference. So let's keep the conversation going. Let's keep this party going. Send in those super chats, those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome. And together we will make sure this show is bigger, better, and stronger than ever. All right. Once again, it's a super chat, not your thing. You can always hit up the tips and donations link at the gsmcpodcast.net. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Don't forget to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show. Follow the network here at the GSMC Sports Network. We do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity 1,010%. Obviously, criticism is part of the game. Feedback is a gift, so don't be afraid. Be a part of the show. Got a chat from my man Logan James. Hello, man. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you had an amazing Monday. Hope you're tuning into some Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Rollins. So it's pretty sure that Seth Rollins is probably going to open up Monday Night Raw. Usually that's his thing. We are live in St. Louis in the Enterprise Center. We're on our first 2-hour episode, and I don't like looking at all the potential things that could happen. This show is going to be so jam-packed. It's going to be like just a system overload. Obviously, this is kind of the falling out of what happened at WWE Bad Blood. What's Seth Rollins, what's his next step? Is he going to continue and pursue his revenge on Big Bad Bronson Reed, which is, it's possible, but you also have the Monster Among Men inside there. You kind of had that little feud between, Bronson Reed and The Miz. How's that all going to work out? What's The Miz's next move? He's going toward a singles career. I like it better. I loved when he was teaming with R-Truth. Like, who did it? Who doesn't? Like, I mean, it's funny, it's entertaining, but The Miz is still very much young. He's still in his prime. Being a tag team with R-Truth is kind of a dead end. I know they did win the titles at WrestleMania, but I want to see him hold some singles gold, and the way the division is opened up so much, especially on Monday Night Raw, you don't really have a definitive, like, world heavyweight champion. Like, you know what I mean? You had Drew McIntyre, you had CM Punk, and the Lord only knows what their plans are, on Raw tonight to find out what their next move is. Is their rivalry going to be over? I kind of hope it is. I wouldn't be shocked if none of these guys show up tonight, you know what I mean? To kind of add a lingering fog of like it's over kind of thing. So I definitely think that. I got another chat from my man Logan James. Spoiler alert: Raw in the main event, we have is Tiffany and Rhea, and Liv and Raquel Rodriguez. Tiffany Stratton is in. Oh wow, that's huge. That's a good spoiler alert. That should be an amazing match. Raquel Rodriguez, I'm so happy she came back, especially with everything dealing with her, with her health and medical issues. And, she said in a recent interview, I think it was with Fightful and said, I'm not too sure, don't quote me on that. Basically saying that she's in the best shape of her life. She feels good, she feels confident. She did show up for Elimination Chamber, but then obviously, thanks to, due to medical reasons, she had to, become sidelined once again. But I can't wait to see her in the ring. She's always had great matches. Her and Liv Morgan have amazing chemistry. It's not going to be a shock if you see these two go after the WWE Women's Tag Team titles, which would be pretty cool. I would love to see that. We have Jey Uso defending his WWE Intercontinental Championship against Xavier Woods. What's the limit that Xavier Woods is going to push to win the title? He kind of, inadvertently took off the mask of Rey Mysterio, but he got the W. And winning after losing for so long has got to feel good any way, shape, or form you get it. So it wouldn't be too much of a shock to me to find out that the New Day becomes more split because Kofi Kingston's looking at Xavier Woods like, what are you doing, man? Why do you keep, doing these things dirty? You're not this type of guy. That's not what the New Day is. And then Xavier Woods be like, you know what? Like, things change. Things change, Kofi. And then forcing them to kind of, split their ways. That could possibly happen. Finn Balor of the Judgment Day still wants a piece of Damian Priest. It's not over yet. They were kind of hinting at throughout wrestling news media that the Terra Twins are broken up, which is, a woman and a man, intergender. There was speculation saying that they're going to have intergender tag team titles, which I wouldn't mind. I feel like that'd be super cool. But I don't know, for these two to kind of be like successful in their own way, they kind of do have to split apart, but not like split apart like they don't have to like, watch each other's backs or have backstage promos and stuff like that. It's just when Damian Priest is getting his ass kicked by the Judgment Day, Rhea Ripley comes out, and sure, she's big and bad and strong and intimidating, but at the same time, like, what could you really do? Like, if she goes into the ring with Carlito, JD McDonough, they're not gonna have a guy like guys attack a girl. Like, you know what I mean? That just doesn't happen. So now you kind of have Raquel Rodriguez, part of the mix. I can't wait. Oh man, I can't wait to see her match. We also have a match between Sheamus and Butch, a Donnybrook match. So a bunch of Irish weapons, Irish theme kind of thing. So it should be pretty badass. Will Goldberg tonight be featured on Monday Night Raw after the teaser we have with Bad Blood feuding with Gunther? I really don't want to see Goldberg back in WWE, and it's not like I'm not like I'm trying to be a jerk. I'm not like he's terrible. Like, yeah, he brings awareness to the brand, and he's people know who Bill Goldberg is. So every single time you kind of have him on any kind of spot, or maybe he could fight Gunther and only lose if he beats Gunther for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I swear to Lord, I'm just kidding. No, but like, I don't know, it just wouldn't make sense. So if he's there to kind of just solidify the title run that Gunther is having, I'm all for that. I think that's a great idea. But I know WWE, especially during the Vince McMahon era, he loved himself some Bill Goldberg winning occasional championships. So, hopefully that's not, part of the neck of the woods kind of moving forward. And we have the match, Gunther against Sami Zayn. I think Gunther wins this one. The only reason why he lost to Sami at WrestleMania was because he was too cocky. Now he's going to take him a little more lightly. What's Braun Breaker's status going to be in WWE? He came out last week and congratulated Jey Uso on his Intercontinental Championship win, kind of hinting at maybe like a potential babyface jump. And lastly, what's up with the Wide Six? They had a spoiler. They're kind of dropping hints at their next victim. Would be kind of interesting to see them target Xavier Woods after he's kind of nearing more toward the dark side a little bit, forcing him to kind of have to get the help of the Final Testament. Having them have a War Games match at Survivor Series would be ideal. That's the only storyline that I'd be like, you know what, that kind of makes sense. So that would definitely kick some ass. All right, so we got done talking about some Monday Night Raw. Now we're going to talk about what happened on Saturday. It was amazing, absolutely incredible. WWE Bad Blood, and even what happened after was super sick. So we're going to get into that, so do not go anywhere.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
All right, and we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Here to talk about everything in terms of professional wrestling, all the action inside and out, the backstage news drama. We also talk about superstar injury updates, inactive statuses, contract negotiations, extensions, and new signings from promotions from WWE to AEW to TNA to Ring of Honor to the GCW to the NWA, Stardom to New Japan Professional Wrestling. Who makes major news headlines in the world of professional wrestling? We talk about it here on this show. So, make sure you tune in. It's going to reflect on what we talked about real quick. We had our WWE Smackdown review, and then we talked about a little bit about what could possibly happen on Monday Night Raw. It's happening right now. Can't wait to check it out. Got a spoiler alert from my man, Logan James, saying that we have an awesome main event planned. We got Tiffany Stratton teaming up with Rhea Ripley against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. So that should be pretty cool. Can't wait to watch that. All right, so let's go and jump on into some WWE Bad Blood talk. But before we do any of that, once again, hit up that super chat, those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome. Together, we will make this podcast bigger, better, and stronger than ever. We need your guys' support, 1,010%. For us to keep bringing you guys even more awesome sports content Monday through Friday. We would love you guys to interact first and foremost, 1,010%. We love that you guys have opinions. We love that you feel comfortable enough to share them on air. That's super cool. That's super awesome. Definitely love and respect that about the viewers. So, hit up that super chat. It's the $ below that chat box. And obviously send it in a super chat. Whatever you put down is going to be guaranteed and featured on the show 1,010%. So don't be shy and hit up that super chat, those super stickers, because once again, you guys are super, super duper amazing. And once again, if it's if that's not your thing, hit up the gsmcpodcast.net. Hit up the tips and donations link. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. All positive stuff, hopefully. But of course, criticism is part of the game. Feedback is a gift. So just remember to Superman punch that like a subscribe button to the show. Follow the network, and we can have an amazing relationship. All right, let's talk about some WWE Bad Blood. Overall, like I said, it was pretty badass. It was it was, especially headed into the PG-13 kind of error here, but I don't know. All right, first match we have right off the bat, we had Bianca Belair, Naomi, also Jade Cargill introduced themselves and also introduced this match, Hell in a Cell. I gotta be honest, I thought they did good. I feel like they did good. This was probably a perfect way to end this rivalry. The way the match was, there was blood shed by both superstars, which was a necessity. A lot of Drew McIntyre matches, even back in his career in independent circuit, he doesn't like to bleed, which is by all means, having that kind of spot, a lot of people negative publicity about, cutting, also, real chair shots or, weaponry to the, could cause lacerations to the face or any part of the body, to be honest. But I think this was the perfect way. That's why if they continue to keep their feud going on Raw or Raw, I wouldn't like it. I would like one of them to go to SmackDown. That'd be pretty cool to kind of have a fresh start. Like I said on Monday Night Raw, I'm not sure if any of these guys are going to be on it. It would be interesting to kind of see if they were, their future, what they want to talk about, and what promos they're going to hit. But I thought it was kind of cool to see Drew McIntyre busted open for the first time I've watched him. Got to be honest. There was a good amount of violence, to kind of put this rivalry to bed. I thought they were going to bust out thumbtacks. Obviously, didn't really work out. You saw Drew McIntyre bust out the beads, and I was like, Oh god, that's crazy. Which backfired. Obviously he got hurt for doing that. Usually that's the spot. Like usually when you see tables, come out, if you set it up yourself, or if you put like thumbtacks on the ground or anything like you're designing that spot for you. Like you know what I mean. So I wasn't really surprised that he kind of went down under with that. So I thought that was kind of cool. Now one thing that I kind of had the bag on. CM Punk did get the win, which was the right thing to do. But I think I have kind of have a bone to pick with WWE is the last couple of Hell in the Cell matches, hasn't really been Attitude Era-esque. They're always just fighting inside the cage, like, you know what I mean? Which is still pretty damn entertaining and it's cool. But, I'm used to like people like, fighting on top of the cage, or maybe I've just been playing too much WWE 2K or Raw versus SmackDown games when I was younger, to the point where, you can fight on top of the cell, throw somebody off and like throw them through the cell. And it was cool, so, obviously very dangerous, so I can imagine why WWE wouldn't want to do that. The cell is, man, 25 feet high, I think it is. I think it's 25 or 20. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that. But I don't know. It's all in all, it's cool. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me being a selfish attitude era fan, being like, jump out of the cage. Come on. Don't be a wuss. But I don't know. Anyway, so we had Bailey taking on Nia Jax, the referee. From the moment, not from the moment, but when she was taken out, I knew something was going to happen. Some crazy. Tiffany Stratton came in, obviously paying dividends with her Money to Bank briefcase, looking like she was going to cash in once again. And, didn't really happen. You saw Nia Jax catch her again for the third time. It just makes me question how long is, we're going to keep doing this. Like, you know what I mean? How long is Tiffany Stratton going to be flirting with, cashing in? I think she's kind of flirting with this cash in a little bit too much, hinting at this betrayal too much to the point where it might not, it probably will never come to a shock because it's like, okay, she's the Money in the Bank briefcase holder. So, obviously any angle she takes in terms of how she's going to cash in on Nia Jax, not really much of a surprise, but I don't know, just still having that surprise element is pretty damn cool. But kind of like what my man Logan James said, we have a main event tonight when you're going to have the Money in the Bank winner on Raw, possibly maybe a cash in on Liv Morgan, which would be insane. She would have to stay on Monday Night Raw, which at this point, I don't know, Nia Jax and her, like I mentioned before when I was talking about WWE Smackdown, it's not your traditional like sidekick. Like, you know what I mean? She still holds her ground, even when Nia Jax is, physically abusing her, mentally abusing her, um, vocally. She's still able, she still looks at Nia Jax, she's like, fine, keep talking, keep talking. Then I would say one word, but I can't on air. But I think it's gonna be whatever happens. I feel like WWE is doing this women's Money in the Bank thing, right? Obviously, Nia Jax retaining the championship. Poor Bailey once again gets screwed out. Well, not screwed out. Obviously there has to be a little bit of you got to muddy the waters a little bit here. You know, all right, so then we had Damian Priest take on Finn Balor. I gotta be honest, Priest got the win, which I knew he was going to. Finn Balor, I think he looks weak. I think WWE is doing a terrible job with his character. He doesn't look like he can hold a WWE Singles Championship. Like even if he was the Intercontinental Champion, he would look weak. If he was a WWE Champion, he would look weak. And because of that, his tag team with JD McDonough, their title reign looks weak. So I'm not too exactly sure what WWE is trying to do with Finn. He came out with a new look, kind of his theme song was different, maybe hinting at a potential leaving Judgment Day, which wouldn't be, a giant shock. But I don't know, it's not really to my liking. It was a good match, but then in the news media you find out Damian Priest and Finn Balor both feel like this isn't over. So it's going to be interesting to find out how WWE makes new, innovative, ideas or match types or something like that to kind of keep people, on the phone in terms of, when is this going to end? Is Damian Priest going to develop a crew to take on the Judgment Day at War Games? So I don't know, should be pretty crazy. All right, just kind of briefly kind of go over it. We had Triple H announced that the titles aren't going to be up for grabs at Crown Jewel. There's going to be champion versus champion, the women's and the men's. But they're going to get a shiny new belt, which is cool, I guess. Uh, you saw Gunther come out to talk about it with Triple H. Then Bill Goldberg not interrupted, but he was forced out of the stands once again, flirting with the idea that Bill Goldberg's going to return to WWE and challenge Gunther for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, which all in all is not really my cup of tea. But let's talk about this match. We had the WWE Women's World Heavyweight Championship match between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley with Dominic Mysterio hanging in a shark cage. I thought it was kind of crazy. Usually the shark cage is hung up above the ring. It wasn't this time, which is was kind of different. Um, the shark cage. Also, it was it was for Raquel Rodriguez to return. All in all, it was a thumbs up. It was kind of great to see her come back to WWE. But the way she kind of did it was a little awkward, and I'm not sure if that makes any sense. But, did you see her come out to fight Rhea? Definitely hinting at a future feud between those two ladies. But I don't know, it just didn't seem like it didn't like hit as much. It didn't hit home as much as I thought it could have. Maybe that's the right way to put it. But overall, like I think, she's back. Liv Morgan had to retain the championship. So she won. She defeated Rhea Ripley twice. Rhea Ripley doesn't have any more chances. So it's going to be interesting to find out who steps up next to challenge Liv Morgan. But I don't know. Thought it was pretty crazy. That was pretty cool. Um, Main event time. Main event. We have the Bloodline taking on. Oh yeah, before see, I don't know. It just doesn't look that like I don't know. But like I said, maybe I'm too close, but maybe I wanted Raquel Rodriguez to come back in like a bigger I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, so we had the Bloodline taking on Cody Rhodes and the OTC Roman Reigns. This was pretty cool. The University of Arkansas, their marching band came out and they performed. They with Cody Rhodes, who came out with a mask, which was different. I was like, all right, that's cool. You saw the first time ref. They brought up, hold on. First time they brought up, oh no, it's kind of crazy. They brought up the John Cena win about the whole Solo Sikoa thing, which didn't really make sense to me because I was like, more or less bringing that up, I think causes a little bit more, scrutiny and negativity towards Solo Sikoa's name than actually solidifies it or causes it glory and stuff. But all in all, I thought it was a good match. It was a great match. A lot of tag team, a lot of people, thinking that Roman Reigns was going to stab someone in the back. Obviously, you saw Tama Tonga Tangaloa get involved. Then Jimmy Uso returned, and once when he thought it couldn't get any better, then The Rock, the final boss, is back in WWE. Came out, looked at Rhodes, looked at Roman Reigns with just kind of like disgust. You know what I mean? Like he was like, these two clowns, that's why he was never the tribal chief, and that's why I'm going to take this guy's WWE Undisputed Championship away from him. In the crowd, Solo Sikoa was caught on social media. Somebody recorded saying that, it was saying Solo Sikoa muttering to Jacob Fatu that it's all part of the plan when The Rock came out. So, once again, hinting at the final boss is, pulling the strings behind the whole Solo thing. I feel like Solo will step down and The Rock will reclaim the throne of the tribal chief, which is the right storyline. That's what I would do 1,010%. But I don't know. It was kind of crazy. Like I said, he came out and it was, caused a lot of everybody was excited. Like all over wrestling media, it was cool. You love seeing The Rock. You love every single time you can see The Rock on WWE. So I thought that was super cool. He came out like a freaking, oh my God. And he just looked disgusted. He just looked absolutely just like, really? Is this what the bloodline has come to? Once again, The Rock has to come, clean up other people's messes, these jabronis or something. Just kidding, though. But I don't know. Maybe he could have said that. Maybe he could have said that. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about our fourth segment, what happened after WWE Bad Blood went off the air. We're going to talk about Kevin Owens' attack on Cody Rhodes and the potential Well, not really a potential heel turn because I'm pretty sure that's what WWE's kind of making serious with this whole attack thing. But we're gonna dive deeper into it when we come back. So hey, do not go anywhere.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
All right, and we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, here to talk about everything in terms of the world of professional wrestling on the GSMC Sports Network. So make sure you guys tune in Monday through Friday. And yeah, we could talk about, superstar news, talk about injury updates, contract negotiations, extensions, new signings for promotions like the WWE, to AEW, to New Japan Professional Wrestling, to CMLL. If it makes major news headlines in the world of professional wrestling, we talk about it here on this show. So, yeah. All right. So we just got done talking about Bad Blood. And, it's only kind of fitting to talk about what happened after. I had no idea this happened, man. I felt like a bad wrestling fan, but like it wasn't all over my social media. I've been dodging social media all day because I wanted it to be a surprise because I didn't watch it till after Sunday Night Football. So I did not check TikTok, Instagram. I don't even have a TikTok to be honest. I didn't check Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or anything like that. I was like, you know what, like, because I usually work on Saturday nights. You know what I mean? A lot of people do. And I'm like, oh man, it sucks because when you come home and something that kind of sucks about WWE's pay-per-views on Peacock is you can't start from the beginning. Like you can't, you have to join live, then you have to rewind it. And it's just, I don't know, like maybe I'm just complaining too much. So like when you just press play, and you just like, you see what's happening at that moment. But my luck, every single time I turn it on, somebody, a shocking win or someone's holding the title up, and I'm like, oh my God, of course, my luck, man. So now I just wait for the option to, from rewatch or start from the beginning or whatever. And I don't know, it's just, it's kind of sucks. It's kind of crazy. But, I'm a wrestling fan. We're all a little, I'm just kidding. No, but I don't know. I just thought it was a good pay-per-view. It was a good pay-per-view. But this attack by Kevin Owens, what happened after was gotta be honest, was a little troublesome. We kind of knew this was gonna happen. We kind of knew that this heel turn was going to happen. Triple H says that they are dealing with the post-show attack on Cody Rhodes internally, kind of adding a muddy in the waters, blurring the lines between reality and fiction, of course, which WWE seems to be doing pretty well. I definitely love the outside spot. Kind of reminded me once when the final boss was beating the crap out of Cody Rhodes as well. There's just something about, and it was, it totally seemed unstaged. Totally seemed like they were actually fighting each other. You saw the fans becoming the first ones, people pulling out their phones, becoming the first ones to find out about this. You know what I mean? Like I said, I turned off Bad Blood. It was the end of it. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I was talking to my production meeting with my CEO. And he mentioned it, and I was like, "What, dude? That's crazy!" Like I said, we all knew it was gonna happen. I definitely feel like this is a good spot for Cody and Kevin. They get to work with each other. Moving forward for a couple of weeks, so I think that's pretty cool. They have great chemistry inside the ring, so they put on good matches. Obviously, heading toward a new character development for Kevin Owens, more of an aggressive Kevin Owens, like you saw before he was gifted the WWE Universal Championship, where he came out and he was fight Owens, win at all cost, do everything. It does. So what if you play dirty? Some people have amazing careers by playing dirty and winning dirty. Like look at the dirtiest player in the game, Ric Flair. Look at Triple H. All these amazing. Look at what Hollywood Hulk Hogan did during his tenure as the WCW World Heavyweight Champion, and it just it just makes sense. It just makes sense, and it's it was about time. They were flirting with it too damn much. A lot of animosity. I'm not too sure how exactly Randy Orton fits inside of this. I think it's going to be pretty crazy to find out. Um, but is it really necessary for Kevin Owens to turn completely heel? Where he starts like talking back to the fans and barking at the fans, because even like when he wasn't like a total babyface, or a heel. He interacts with the fans and the fans interact with him. He does high fives here and there, but I think the fans just they like Kevin Owens now. They Kevin Owens has definitely made a name for himself, especially after everything, losing the Universal Championship to Goldberg. Kind of making it, kind of turning heel, being a babyface, teaming up with Sami Zayn. Then like it's I don't know. It's the way that they're handling Kevin Owens' career is exactly what seems like fitting, because not a lot of people look at Kevin Owens as that main event kind of guy, but can he hold the United States Championship? Absolutely. But are there other people that could hold the championship lower than him, or, lower than him on the totem pole of, of wrestling stars on SmackDown that could hold it better? Like a Carmelo Hayes, you know what I mean? Like a Carmelo, I think he would hold the United States Championship better than Kevin. Andrade, I think, would hold the championship, United States Championship better than Kevin. And Logan Paul coming back. What's going to happen when he comes back to WWE? Should be interesting. Should be crazy. But all in all, I thought it was. I don't think you have to turn him completely heel. Kind of goes out there, does his own thing, kind of like a Randy Orton character. Where he's not really like where you love to hate him and then you hate to like him. Like what I mean. But either way, the show goes on. And you're either rooting for him, and you're like, what am I doing? Why am I rooting for Kevin Owens? Because even during the attack, some of the fans were kind of cheering Kevin Owens on, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, Cody, Cody!" Like, it's a new day and age of wrestling that we have now, and I feel like it does have has a lot to do with social media, and you're looking at how WWE manipulate social media to kind of make things seem real. You know what I mean? And I think that's great. I think that's great. They're utilizing that tool for better things instead of propaganda and just BS and stuff like that. So I definitely like that. I definitely thought it was a good spot. Like I said, what does this mean for Kevin Owens' contract? Does this guarantee him an extension? It's up at the end of the year. I know they have some time to talk about it still. It is October. I think a new deal is coming. I don't think it's going to be as glorified as what Kevin might expect. WWE did offer him something. He turned it down. He saw, he went, his agent went to AEW to see if they can match it. Obviously, they were like, AEW's like, you know what, we have no interest in pursuing Kevin Owens as of right now. So, he's going to have to probably take a pay cut coming back to WWE, which isn't bad. Will you take a pay cut to kind of be on the biggest wrestling standard in the world of professional wrestling? Like, you know what I mean? You're on WWE, you're on the It Show, you get a lot of media attention. So at the same time, like, even if you were, trying to build up your brand to kind of be more of a hotter free agent, stepping into the independent wrestling scene, or TNA, Ring of Honor, or or eventually taking a deal with AEW, you want to stay on WWE because you get more TV time. That's business 101. Like, how are you going to get people to see you if and get better contracts if you're not going to be kind of like on the A-list shows and stuff like that? So, kind of crazy. Like I said before, where is Randy Orton going to stand on this? Is he going to be opposed to what Kevin Owens did? I feel like he's going to kind of come out and kind of have this, like, hey, you know what? It's between them right now. You know what I mean? I forgave Cody, but, Kevin obviously holds a lot more animosity because of the way the Bloodline knocked him out, took him out with injury. Same with Randy, but Randy Orton maybe is surprisingly maybe a more forgiving guy, which is kind of shocking. But I don't know. Once again, I don't think they should turn Kevin Owens completely heel. I don't want to see him swearing at the fans or yelling at people or tearing up signs. Like, I don't want to see that. I think Kevin Owens is good as as that complete kind of like a Braun Breaker. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like a complete badass. You know what I mean? You're not going to pander to the crowd You're not going to see that babyface mentality and stuff like that. He's just going to go out there. He's going to say what he has to say. He's going to fight. He's going to keep fighting, fight, and fight. I thought that was pretty cool. Raw, their storytelling. Um, I think in WWE, their Raw storytelling is, it's getting better. I definitely liked how it kind of blew up in the parking lot rather than inside the ring or after some BS match where he comes out with a chair, hits him in the back of the head or something. I kind of like the new innovative kind of style. Um, Definitely love that 1,010%. Cody is he's set to face Gunther at Crown Jewel. I don't know how much this affects it. I don't think too much, but because I know the fans would love to see Cody Rhodes take on Gunther. I know I will. I would 1,010%. Maybe Gunther picks up the victory thanks to Kevin Owens' interruption in the match and stuff like that. Maybe him and Kevin, go one-on-one at War Games for the WWE Championship once again. But this time, Kevin Owens isn't going to, not take an opportunity like Cody's knee was giving out. He could have took advantage of it. He didn't, which ultimately cost him the chance. He could have been the WWE champion. Well, no, he did hit two stunners and Cody kicked out of both. So I'm not too sure how that's going to go. But definitely love the angle that they're having here. Definitely like Kevin Owens kind of going toward the heel side once again. I'm going to say I hope WWE don't push him too heel. Like, what I mean? I hope they don't push him too far off. All right, so it was absolutely crazy. Like I said, it was breaking news to me today, which I kind of love when WWE could do that. The unpredictability is sick. Definitely love the new innovative ideas presented by Triple H Holodeck. All right, so AJ Lee back in WWE. Is it a possibility? We're going to talk about it. We're going to ponder on the idea when we come back. So, hey, do not go anywhere. All right, so we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time on the GSMC Sports Network to talk everything about professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside the ring, backstage curtain drama. We talk about promotions like WWE to AEW to TNA to Ring of Honor. If it makes major news, wrestling headlines, we talk about it here on this show 1,010%. So glad to see you guys here tuning in. Just to kind of reflect on what we talked about right quick. We had our WWE Smackdown review. We had our WWE Monday Night Raw preview. We talked about my take on Bad Blood, which was pretty great. And then we recently talked about Kevin Owens turning heel after Bad Blood went off the air. He attacked Cody Rhodes, which went viral on wrestling social media, which was pretty badass. It was pretty cool. So, we're going to talk about our fifth and final segment, AJ Lee back in the WWE. And, the best thing about AJ Lee is I feel like, she's a very versatile piece. She could be an absolute antagonistic person. She could be a babyface. She could be a great character that WWE has to work with. Creative writing could definitely think of something right off the bat for her to do. So, in terms of her coming back, she's physically capable. She's posting all over social media, working out with her husband, CM Punk. She's still in great shape. She's willing to, jump off the top rope and still kind of do little things. that a lot of these women's wrestlers probably, wouldn't really push the envelope to go ahead and kind of do. But would love to kind of have that old school, wrestling aspect come back to WWE here. So after CM Punk debuted and returned to on WWE Survivor Series almost about a year ago, almost exactly a year, her name has been thrown around for her coming back, and recently as well, like Drew McIntyre mentioning, AJ Lee, his wife, she's gonna want to break up with you, and like and then even on NXT, you have Roxanne Perez talking about, hey, I preferred your wife, AJ Lee. AJ Lee retired a day after WrestleMania 31. It came as a total shock to the WWE Universe because her and Paige came off an amazing, huge win against the Bella Twins. Obviously, dealing with back problems, that's something that you don't really want to, you're jumping inside the, essentially your back, that's like your money in wrestling. Like, what I mean? You're landing on your back with the suplex, you're using it as leverage for a submission. You're using it to hold up other superstars for their safety as well. So, back problems definitely is a major killer. It's a major killer, man. It's even like, and I'm not a professional wrestler. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm going on a run or I'm working out, and then the moment my back starts hurting, I'm like, dude, like it's kind of ruins it for me. I'm like, oh my God, like, are you kidding me? But of course, you get older, that's what happens when, randomly you go on this spurt of like, oh, I'm gonna be super healthy. And then you like, when you work your body and your body's kind of like, whoa, 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 what are you doing, Eric? Like, what the heck, what's all this physical stuff you're gonna pull something here. Maybe, you're gonna tear an Achilles, or I'm just kidding. No, okay, God forbid something like that happens. But I don't know. It's just, with back problems, neck problems as well. It's never easy. It's never easy. 1,010%. Even like the ACL, the MCL, them it breaking it does kind of have a factor to it. You kind of use your legs a lot in like running a lot. Especially in the NFL, it's probably much worse because of all the tackling. People go for your knees. People drag you down. The hip drop tackle and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. She's been dealing with back problems. Also, back then her husband's relationship with WWE was a little tumultuous. They didn't really end on good terms. They fired CM Punk after, after the pipe bomb and stuff like that. So there's, big reason why her and her husband did stay away from WWE, stay away from professional wrestling as a whole. And by all means, with everything kind of happening, you know, two willing, capable, you know, amazing people, like CM Punk and, AJ Lee. Although CM Punk back in the day kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, dude, this guy's leaving because he's winning like a spoiled brat. But then again, his arguments were legitimate. You know what I mean? Like he was supposed to be that top guy, but Vince and Triple H never wanted to pull the trigger. Maybe for personal reasons, I'm not too sure. Maybe because he wasn't afraid to sort of like bark back to like the higher ups and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's just So at the same time, I feel like he kind of deserved to get fired, but at the same time, like maybe he didn't. But all in all, he's here right now in WWE, saying that this is it's different. It's different in WWE right now. Maybe it did kind of linger over with a lot of Vince problems and stuff like that, but he's happy. He was he even said in an interview that if I could have the chance to make out with my wife on cable television or on TV, I would love to do it. But I'm not forcing her to come back or anything like that. Which obviously respects his wife. He knows that she would kill it. He absolutely knows that she would be an amazing asset, on any other brands. But like once kind of keeping it to like just basically that, like what I mean, be like, hey, it's up to her decision. You know what I mean? Would she kill it? Yes, 1,010%. So I don't know. It's kind of crazy. A lot of major top WWE stars from the women's division, hope that AJ Lee would kind of follow after her husband's footsteps. After a fan commented on how AJ Lee looked like, saying that she hasn't aged a day, she remarked, and she said, and I quote, "Embracing my well-earned wrinkles and gray hair, because aging is a privilege, but therapy, self-love, avoiding toxic energy, and sunscreen." Um, Bailey said in the comments, she said, "I heard wrestling rings are really good for wrinkles, like as well." Cora Jade and Liv Morgan also chimed in and agreed that she should come back to WWE. And, I feel like she could. She could, and it'd be amazing. It'd be kind of great. Like I said, she still trains. Still has that WWE grind. She still goes out there and like I said, she trains with her husband, CM Punk. After WWE, she pursued her career in screenwriting, and she's actually a New York Times bestseller. So I think that's 1,010% cool. Um, which brand would she fit the best in? I think she'd fit pretty well basically anywhere. It'd be kind of interesting to see. I would like to see them both on the same show. You know what I mean? I've had speculations about CM Punk going to. Actually, I don't think there'd be really a spot for CM Punk on SmackDown, especially with this whole Bloodline thing. Maybe perhaps a spot on NXT. Having a veteran in the back. CM Punk even admitted inside the NXT locker room and also via interview that he loves being at the at NXT events. Like he's for it. Like he helps people backstage. He loves the show in and itself too. What Sean's doing over there, CM Punk loves it. Be a complete fit for CM Punk to kind of to be on NXT. I keep wanting to say TNA. I don't know why. Uh, he was kind of flirting with some beef with All Ego Ethan Page. Maybe Ethan Page calls out CM Punk, and Roxanne Perez likes to rub it in CM Punk's face that he's old and she should have been a Drew McIntyre fan. She reminds me of AJ Lee so much. It's kind of, it's kind of crazy. It's like a spitting image, and I'm pretty sure WWE creative, no, they're doing that on purpose. Like the way her mannerisms are, a little bit of crazy, but then again, at the same time, can ultimately kick your ass. AJ Lee too. She's dealt with a lot of stuff in her career as well. From stress disorders and depression and anxiety and stuff like that. She's found a way to kind of, found her own way to kind of find therapy, find something that works for her. And, just look at her. She was an amazing Divas champion, women's champion, New York Times bestseller, screenwriting. She helps with, I think she was doing Heels. I think the TV show Heels. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that. So, the talent is through the roof. And could she help WWE any which way she can? Maybe become a WWE writer? Yeah. I feel like that could work 1,010%. So, definitely a way on this show for, the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast to, maybe lobby or throw my hat in the ring of trying to convince AJ Lee to come back to WWE as well. That'd be pretty cool. All right. So that was it, guys. Hope you guys liked my show. Hope you guys once again had an amazing weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Just remember to Superman punch that like a subscribe button to the show. Follow the network. Follow us on Twitter /X, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook for more content and updates. And like I always say, if I have not made you a wrestling fan by now, we have 2 football podcasts with my boy Kenneth and Manny's Ship Shot Football podcast. We have Emran's GSMC Soccer podcast starting in about 29 minutes. So, no, 19 minutes. Yeah, 19 minutes. Oh my God, I can't do math today. We got Tommy on college football, the GSMC College Football podcast, getting a lot of attention. Find out all your know-how becoming of what exactly surrounding the college football world on his podcast. We also got basketball starting October 22nd or the 23rd with my boy Nelson on the GSMC Basketball podcast. Find out all your awesome NFL fantasy football stuff with my boy Chris Shepard with the GSMC Fantasy Sports podcast. Find out your stardoms, your sit-ems, who to pick up off the waiver wire, who to drop. Sometimes the risk is is worth the reward. So that could possibly happen. We got 2 sports, all around sports shows. We got Sports by GSMC with Jeremy and the GSMC Sports podcast with my man TJ. So make sure you tune into all those amazing, incredible podcasts. 1,010%. Love those guys. They're they're my dogs. Definitely, I watch their podcasts. I learn from them. They're entertaining as hell. Give the Eric Rodriguez guarantee that you guys will be hooked after watching it for a mere 2 to 3 minutes. Guarantee it. That's all it takes. Maybe even less. All right, guys. So once again, thank you for tuning into my show. Have an amazing Monday night. Stay beautiful, but most importantly, love you.
Let's go.
I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great.